Hey there folks, this is Pop Culture, I'm Alex Pop, and part 6 of Ahsoka, titled Far, Far Away, has dropped on Disney+. Beware, this review contains spoilers. In my last video, I brought up this theory I had, based off of how the uncharted galaxy that Baylan Skoll was bound for was described as far, far away, namesake of this latest episode, that it would turn out to be the Milky Way, and this franchise was going to be visiting Earth. So, did my little theory come true? Nope. So, move along.
Move along.
Instead, the antagonists, along with Sabine, wind up at the planet Peridia, the home world of the Dothamirian ancestors, as well as the graveyard of the Star Whales. Indeed, the whale bones are what the planet's ring system is made of, a really creative visual. In fact, I'd say everything visual is the best thing that this mostly average episode has going for it. This also includes the entrance of the Star Destroyer that took Ezra and Thrawn away, which has down to detail all the locations of damage to it the Star Whales did when they grabbed onto it with their tentacles. I say it's mostly average though, because it has the same issue that Part 3 had. It's too slow moving. A good chunk of it is when Grand Admiral Thrawn, who is indeed found in this episode, allows Sabine to go out into the desert and find Ezra, with the intention of Baylan and Shinhati following behind her so that they can kill them both when she finds him, thus living up to Baylan's promise to Sabine, from a certain point of view. A pirate's deal.
Kid, never trust a pirate.
And so the second half is just Sabine wandering through the desert, getting driven a little insane by her crocodile hyena creature, and having an unnecessary battle with cannibalistic nomads. It's another time when I feel like this could have been a 6-part series if the important elements were condensed with the following part. It was worth the wait, though, to see the reunion between Sabine and Ezra. That was the highlight visual for this episode. And now, having seen Ezra's actor up close, I can reaffirm what I thought from just seeing him on the small hologram in Part 1. Eman Esfandi was an ideal pick for casting. However, I don't think I can say the same about Thrawn. He's played here again by Lars Mikkelsen, his voice actor from Rebels, and while I do certainly like his voice, I don't really think he was the right choice for a physical appearance. What doesn't really help is the rich blue skin he's given here, as opposed to the more teal color he was in Rebels. The result just kinda looks like the Na'vi avatar of Elon Musk. Who I think would have been a superb casting choice for Thrawn is Kiefer Sutherland. Not only does he have the right sort of facial structure, but he's got the villain voice that's low, menacing, yet weirdly soothing. If you've seen the movie Phone Booth, you know just what I'm talking about. I have to ask, too, did Thrawn never consider seeking out Ezra himself in the 12 years they've been there? You'd think if the Star Destroyer didn't have the power to get back to Sky River Galaxy, at least Thrawn could find Ezra and get his revenge on him. He even has the ship to overlook the area, and he never went within a 10-mile radius to notice Ezra chilling with those little shelled villagers? Now, we do get a better idea of what Baylan Skoll's ultimate goal is. We learned that he was present for Order 66, which, as he tells Shinhati, he didn't know what to make of at the time, until he learned his history and realized that it was just part of a never-ending cycle of the Jedi rising and falling and evil emerging to take their place, so he's out to intervene. I'll watch the final 2 episodes to see exactly what this amounts to, but this makes Baylan's storyline slightly less engaging now. The reason? We know eventually the outcome is going to be the same again. Luke is going to just forget about all the principles that he fought hard to hold to in Return of the Jedi and actually come close to killing his nephew, which in turn destroys the new Jedi Order in its infancy and leads to the rise of the First Order. The cycle continues. As great of an antagonist as Baylan is, I feel at this point he would have been a more appropriate antagonist for the post-Rise of Skywalker movie that's in development about Rey rebuilding the Jedi Order again. That, of course, was supposed to be Luke's job, but we'll see how it turns out. One thing that I do look forward to finding out is about Thrawn's army of stormtroopers that I presume have been zombified by the Night Sisters. The captain, the one with the gold-faced helmet and the voice of Soundwave, is named Enoch, which is the name of Noah's great-grandfather who walked with God and was taken to heaven before death. so I'm just curious to see if there's going to be any weird parallel to that. As for Ahsoka herself, well, she only appears in the very first scene when she and Huyang are on their way through hyperspace. I guess that scene was thrown in simply so that she could be in every episode of the show titled Ahsoka. It seems to be a recurring criticism against these Star Wars shows that the title character isn't the main character, which sometimes I think is justified and other times I don't. With the Kenobi series, I don't understand at all where people are coming from when they say that Reva stole the entire show from Obi-Wan. Sure, Reva had a backstory and character arc too, but Obi-Wan was still very clearly the central character. The Book of Boba Fett, on the other hand, I totally agree with. That show could not at all decide who it wanted to be about. I'd say Ahsoka falls somewhere between the two. It's at this point that it did start to feel to me like it's equally as much about Sabine as it is Ahsoka, which I don't mind so much. Ahsoka still has essential importance to the whole story, and Sabine didn't even appear once in the last episode. So part 6 I thought was fine, but nowhere near as good as the 4th and 5th episodes. I'm slightly less interested now knowing what Baylan Skoll's plan is, but I'm hopeful that the last 2 parts will still hold some surprises. Though I feel pretty confident in saying that this show is probably already peaked with part 5. That's a wrap, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this review, and be sure to let me know what you thought of part 6 of Ahsoka in the comments below. Like and share, subscribe for more, this is Pop Culture, I'm Alex Pop.